Hey guys, how's it going? Today's topic is about taking losses. This gotta be one of my favorite topics because by the end of this video, you'll have a completely new perspective on taking losses. Um, Taking losses is something that nobody generally likes. You feel me? Like nobody wakes up in the morning and says, "Hey, look, like I want to take a loss today." You feel me? Like nobody feels that type of way, obviously, right? Um, what a lot of people don't realize is like taking losses is probably one of the best things that could happen to you. And I know, it might be annoying to hear that. It might just kind of be like something like bro, shut up. You feel me? Like nobody wants to hear that, right? Like I understand. But let me explain to you why. And it's not some bullshit reason. It's actually something that you're gonna want to hear, right? Every time I've taken a loss, every single time I've taken a loss, I get paid back for that loss times three. Minimum. Now you can say, oh man, like, that doesn't apply to my life. It's not like when you take a loss, you get paid back times three. I'm gonna explain to you how. It's gonna be one way or another. Now it could be a direct correlation where you take a loss and then the next day you get a big win. Or it could be the fact that you take a loss, you learn something that you needed to learn, and with that knowledge, you get a big win. But taking a loss is never a bad thing. It's always going to be a success. It's always going to be a lesson or a step forward. It's really hard to see, especially when you hold on to that loss, which is what most people do. They take a loss and they take it very personally. um the worst thing you could do is take a loss and take it to heart. You feel me? Or blame yourself about it. That's the worst thing you could do, because the longer you hold that loss in you, the longer you have to wait for it to pay you back. It pays you back once you let it go. You feel me? The loss is gonna stay with you until you let it go. Once you let it go, you get paid. It's kind of like how do I say this? It's kind of like a paradox, right? So it's not really a loss. It's only a loss as long as you feel like it's a loss. Once you let go of the loss and you keep it pushing, you get paid for that loss. You feel me? And it's you know I'm the last person to try to tell you guys that just hope and pray. I'm not gonna tell you to hope and pray. I'm telling you the very reality of things. As soon as you let go of a loss, you're gonna get paid. It doesn't matter how or from where, you're gonna get paid once you let go of that loss. A lot of people don't realize this. So what happens is a lot of people will be working towards something or building something, or focused on something, they take a loss. And what happens is most of the time, people take the loss personally, whether it just be, based off mentality or, just the way you were raised or whatever. You take a loss, you take it personally, you blame yourself, you blame whoever, you blame whatever, you hold it in and you just stay upset about it. And you let the loss kind of define you or define a situation. With that type of reaction towards the loss is gonna stick with you forever. You're never gonna get paid. It's like saying like it's almost like buying a car. So you gave the money away, but then you never claimed the car. That's exactly what taking a loss is, and holding on to it is buying a car and leaving the car at the dealership. As soon as you let go of the loss and you say, you know what, whatever, literally whatever, like literally it does not matter. Keep it pushing. Learn what you have to learn if you have to learn something and keep it pushing. Boom, cars in your front in your front yard. Like that's just how it works. That's just how it works. And if you don't believe me, you gotta try it. That's all I can say. I can't force you guys to see this. This isn't something that people and I'm not talking about faith, but this is not something that you can necessarily teach somebody. This is something that you gotta experience for yourself. And the only way to experience it is to practice it. You gotta take a loss, and you're gonna take a loss, but you gotta make sure you let it go and you keep it pushing, because that's when you get paid. I'm telling you, this is good. You feel me? This is good. This is good sauce, because it's gotten to me. It's gotten to a point for me where when I take a loss, I get excited, and it sounds crazy, but I genuinely get excited when I take a loss because I'm like, oh yeah, I'm getting paid. You feel me? Like I swear, when I take a loss, like I don't complain about it. I don't sit on it. I just, I'm happy. I'm excited. You feel me? I'm excited. So let me actually give you guys some examples here. Um, as you guys know, I have different kind of businesses going on at the same time. but one of my main ones is phones. iPhones. Like I do international shipping and selling. So I source a lot of phones, right? Sometimes, when I first started, I was taking losses all the time, and I got paid for them, every single one. I wasn't getting paid at first because I was really hurt by them. But once I started letting go, and I had my really good friend help me like see it from a different perspective, and I started like not caring about the losses, just taking it as a lesson, if anything, and just keeping it pushing. They all paid me back. But anyways, I took a few losses lately. So this right here is an iPhone 16e. It's almost indistinguishable from a 17e, and I have the tools. I have the tools to connect it and know exactly what phone it is. But today I felt lazy, and this guy brought this to me to sell it to me, and I didn't scan it. And he told me it was a 17e, which was $100 more than the 16e. When I scan it, I get home, it's a 16e, just because I didn't take the time to scan it. So minus $100 on this one. This Samsung Galaxy 23 Ultra, right? The guy told me it was in perfect condition, and it looked in perfect condition. Like I could turn this on and everything, right? What I had not noticed, let me see. What I had not noticed, I don't know if you guys can see that. The LCD is damaged. And if you know anything about technology, the LCD is the most expensive part. Another $100 loss. This phone right here, this guy came to sell it to me, right? And he told me it was fine, everything was perfect condition. Actually, no, he sent me pictures of it, and I just didn't look clearly. When I check, cracked at the bottom. Three losses I took in the last 2 days, and I'm happy. I'm excited. It kind of turns me on, not in a sexual way, but in like this, in the type of way that I know something's cooking. I dead ass just feel positive when I take these losses. I feel positive. Um, Obviously this comes with experience. Like I'm not gonna say like you're gonna be happy to take a loss right away as soon as you listen to what I'm saying to you. But once you've taken enough losses and like you've like learned to take the loss inside and just kind of like let it flow at the same time and continue about your way, mm, you're gonna get paid. You're gonna get paid, and you're gonna start loving it. You're gonna start loving it. There's like a saying where people say like, oh, like I've lost more times than you've tried. To be honest, that's not even a fair thing to say because it's like you're flexing losing, but flexing losing is just flexing winning. Like honestly, like I don't know if you guys get that. Maybe that was a little bit of a big brain moment right there, but I wouldn't say that to somebody because I'd just be flexing either way. It's like it's just I don't know. You know, the losses are a good thing. Um, you won't really see this until you realize that, and I mentioned this in my last video. I use a lot of context from different videos, right? But in my last video, I mentioned that you know there's a polarity to things. So to gain something, you must lose something, and vice versa. You to gain something, you must lose something of equal or more value. Like that's just how it goes. You gotta lose something to gain something. So when you take a loss, you can't take a loss without receiving something in return, no matter what. And so if you're receiving if you took a loss, and let's label it negative for this example. So something negative come through, it needs something positive to balance it out. Always, every single time. That's just how it is. You feel me? And that's life. And this applies to everything. This really applies to everything. You lose your girl, you got big things coming for you, brother. You feel me? You lose your job, you got something else coming for you. You feel me? You lose a friend, a family member, a pet, it's super sad. And it's okay to hold on to that. I'm not gonna lie. But you got something coming to you regardless. You feel me? And I feel like you maybe for people who do watch all my videos, like I feel like sometimes I have like a very cutthroat way of saying things, and maybe it may sound insensitive or kind of desensitized in the ways that like I don't really consider emotions too much in equations. But that's like that's a whole separate thing. But it's part of the same thing at the same time because the only reason you're gonna hold on to a loss is because you have emotions tied to it. And the older we grow, you're gonna realize like emotions are good for knowing how you feel about something and maybe having some sort of instinctual reaction. But emotions aren't gonna lead you to where you want to go. What's gonna lead you to where you want to go is discipline and mindset. You feel me? Um, Emotions are gonna get in the way at the end of the day. They're just gonna get in the way. And you can, you can explore your emotions, but they're not going to be the ones steering you towards your goals and your manifestations, or your career path, or you know it's not going to be the one getting you there. It's going to be your brain, your discipline, you feel me, your call to action, you're going to get there. Your emotions are not going to get you there. They're going to accompany there. They might fuel you on the way there, but you got to know how to use them. And emotions, especially when you take a loss, can be very volatile. Because also depending on, like, what you've been through, or what stage you are in your life, it may hit different. You got to realize the emotions are just like imagine the whole world is black and white. The emotions are just the colors on top. Now you could say the colors on top are what matters more. Like the colors on top matter more than the canvas, but the canvas is what paints the picture. The canvas is kind of the reality of it. So you can really, you know, and I'm sorry if I'm losing you guys here, but you can really pick and choose when those emotions are gonna take over and when they could just be something in the background. Like when I get upset about something, when I take a loss, I used to get so emotional over that, so emotional. And I've taken so many bro. I've taken so many losses in my life, and I'm talking about like financial status, business losses. I've taken so many losses, right? It's gotten to a point where I take a loss and I can't even explain to you guys like how much taking a loss to me just does not phase me at all anymore. To me, taking a loss is like, okay, say less. All right, it makes me curious as to what's coming next. Because when I take a loss, something good happens. It's always a signal of change, positive change. You feel me? Um, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys are able to understand what I was saying to you guys. Um, I do one-on-ones for anybody who is interested in that, needs a little bit of guidance or anything. My Instagram is Emmanuel.lbx. That's Emmanuel with two M's .lbx. And if you guys like these videos, make sure to subscribe. See you guys in the next one.